gloried in myself, as many of us did. It made me feel as if I was the highest thing on the world because I thought I knew the greatest secret on this earth. Men and women were burning down institutions of education and rioting because they wanted black history. And I said, I found black history right here in the Holy Scriptures, and I found out that I'm part of the holiest, greatest.
Yeah, I serve it refined, perfect. Walk through the iron furnace, not burning 400 years. You gotta know time, purpose. Wise flourish, fools following folly. The blind person, eyes hurting, let the light in. Like I despise curtain, watch out for them line service. Humbleness, I'm trying purchase, cause it's kinda hard to stay on your job with pride working. What's his name? And his son's name, if you can tell. Yahweh Elohim, a host, his son's name is Israel. So awake, Yaakov, and watch out for your sins. Yahweh be with you while you be with him. If you seek him, he will find you. Do not put his words behind you. If you forsake him, he will forsake you. So please be mindful. Life is a battleground, so break up your fallow grounds. Seek righteousness and sow in mercy till he shower down. You form a laddering, restored in the latter days. Jacob no longer repressed and thinking like a slave.
Yahweh is his name. His word has came to us as the rain. Yahweh is his name. His word has came to us as the rain.
Is that Yahweh
Yahweh is his name.
Is our lawgiver. Yahweh is our
his word has came to us as the rain.
See me when I call, oh Elohim, on my righteousness you have enlarged. When I was stressed, you heard my prayers, have mercy upon. When I almost slipped, you grabbed my foot and told me to hold on. Oh sons of men, how long will you turn Yah's glory in the shade? And love living vain, walking in your own way. See, lie, be Yahweh separated to himself. That's wisdom, understanding, knowledge is my health. Follow these steps, please Yashamal. When I call, standing out on sin. Commune with your own heart while you still in your bed. See, lie, offer the sacrifice of righteousness. Put your trust in Yah so your life just live. No son will say, ain't no good in this day. Yah lit this countenance and shine this light on his face. Put gladness in my heart more than the time when they whine and increase. Now I will both lay me down in peace, cause only Yah keep me safe.
Yahweh is his name. His word has came to us as the rain. Yahweh is his name. His word has came to us as the rain.
Thing that I ever learned is that
Yahweh is his name.
Yahweh is our lawgiver.
His word has came to us as the rain.
I gloried I was an Israelite. I had so much high self-esteem. I am Israel.
Shalom, shalom. Giving all honor, all glory, and all praises to the Holy One of Israel. It is a great blessing to be able to give praises to the Most High in the little sanctuary that Yah has set for his people. My name is Moreh Obadiah Yisrael of the House of Yisrael, located at 2330 Kemper Lane in Cincinnati, Ohio. And we give all honor, all glory, and all praises to the Holy One of Israel, whose name alone is Yahweh. Now, who is Yah? Well, Yahweh is the creator of the heavens and earth, the sea, and all that in them is. Yahweh is the Savior, and Yahweh is the Redeemer of not just Israel, but of the entire world. So we give all honor, all glory, and all praises to the Holy One of Israel, whose name alone is Yah. And let me say shalom to all of our people that are listening via the internet, whether it be Facebook or YouTube, or any various services that you're listening through, for we know that the only reason why you're tuned in is because of your fear and your love towards the Holy One of Israel, whose name alone is Yahweh. And yesterday's program that was presented by Moreh Ishaya was quite insightful and quite powerful to really break down the book of Proverbs and the Hebrew word mashal. And it's to have dominion. And when you read the book of Proverbs in its entirety, that's exactly what you see that wisdom leads you to have, is dominion. Whether it's dominion of yourself, whether it's dominion on when you sin before kings, whether it's dominions on how you are as a man or a woman. The whole book is speaking on having dominion and being able to rule over your own spirit. And it was a beautiful, dynamic lesson. And it was poignant and right on time in the times that we are in today. Because the times that we are in today is a very traumatic, tumultuous time. We're in the time today where we have people that are getting in their cars and driving up to monuments in America and driving into barricades, killing people. We're in a society and a nation today where you have a man that's on trial for placing his foot, for placing his knee up on the neck of a black man and being there and holding that position for over 9 minutes. And I believe it's 9 minutes and 29 seconds to be exact. And it's ironic because Yahweh is letting you know that everything that's being done, it is not a slip. Yahweh didn't fall asleep at the wheel. Yahweh didn't fall asleep and forget. These things are not mere coincidences. These things are happening because this is what Yahweh is using as tools to wake up our people. And it's quite ironic that he was on this man's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds because when you look up the Hebrew word for that, it takes you to the Hebrew word behemoth. And it's the words that's used in common with this word is to mute. It is to collect. This is what this word means. And it also has a correlation with the word beast. And if you study the behavior of beast in the field, you will see that most of the times, a lot of the times, most beasts kill to eat. They kill to eat. They kill to eat for themselves, or they kill to provide for their flock. That's what they do. But you will see them kill just for the sake of killing, just because something that's weak, something weaker is in their presence. Well, this beast that we're in the midst of today, this is exactly what they do. They kill without cause. They shed blood for no reason. They do things that can't be explained. Now, what you will have the wicked do is create explanations for these actions, for these deeds. And it makes absolutely no sense at all. And because one righteous act gets turned away from, when one righteous deed gets turned away from, you have a whole world filled with corruption. You have a whole world filled with wickedness. You have an entire world and an entire system that's built and established on this. In the book of Genesis, the 6th chapter. And in the book of Genesis, the 6th chapter, I'm going to begin to read at the 7th verse. In Genesis chapter 6, verse 7, it reads, "And Yahweh said, I will destroy." Well, no, I'm going to start at verse 5 so we can get a full grasp of what's taking place. Genesis 6, verse 5, it reads, "And Elohim saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented Yah that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And Yahweh said, I will destroy man from whom I created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowl of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah, now notice Yahweh said, look, everything got to go. I'm destroying man, the creeping thing, the beast. I'm destroying all of this because all of them have their hands in this perverseness. All have their hands in this wickedness because man's supposed to have dominion over beast. So the man's corruptible. Then guess what the beast that's around them going to start acting like? They're going to start being corruptible as well. But let's continue reading. It says, but Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. And these are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with Elohim. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth also was corrupt before Elohim. And the earth was filled with violence. And Elohim looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And this is why there's violence in the lands. This is why there's violence in the nations. This is why there's violence in the city, because man has corrupted themselves. And when you look up this word violence, you'll come to the Hebrew word kamah. And it means to be cruel, unrighteous, injustice. All the things that our people are crying for and crying from today, all over the world. Because violence has overtaken the streets. Violence has overtaken the nation. And corruption has come into the people, and the people are acting as such. Because when there's violence in the city, you can rest assured that there is no magnification of the Almighty's law. You have to turn your back from the law to become an unrighteous man. You have to turn your back from the law to become a cruel man. You have to turn your back from the law to be an unjust man. Because to keep the law is the opposite of doing these things. But these things have a purpose. These things have a reason. These things haven't slipped the eyes of the Most High. Neither have it slipped from the hands of the Most High. Let's look and see the conditions. In the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter. And we're going to see if these conditions have escaped the all-seeing eye of the Most High, or have they escaped the all-powerful hands of the Most High? Or do the Most High have the most control? And we're out of control. That's why we don't even see how much control the Creator has. In the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter, I'm going to begin to read at the very first verse. In Amos 3:1, it reads, it says, hear this word that Yahweh hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all of your iniquities. And then Yahweh starts to ask a myriad of questions. And he said, can 2 walk together except they be agreed? Will a lion roar in the forest when he have no prey? And will a young lion cry out of the den if he have taken absolutely nothing? And can a bird fall in the snare upon the earth where no gin is for him? And shall one take up a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people be not afraid? And shall there be evil in the city, and Yahweh have not done it? And Yahweh asking all these questions because you may be under the impression that these things are happening because Yahweh's forsaken the earth. You may think these things have happened because Yahweh has forsaken his people. But no, Yahweh has put these questions in front of us to let us know that none of these things are happening by coincidence. None of these things are happening by chance. None of these things that are happening is a gamble. Because a gamble is you have a 50-50 odds. 50% you could win, 50% you could lose. No, Yahweh is in 100% of control. That's why he says in verse 7, surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he reveals his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So yes, is there evil in the city and Yahweh not done it? Well, how can evil prosper unless Yahweh let it prosper? How can wickedness be in the city unless Yahweh allows it? Now you may look and say, well, that sounds like a contradiction. How is Yahweh all righteous, but he allows wickedness? Because Yahweh, in the genius of Yahweh, that's why Yahweh called heaven and earth to record against our actions and our decisions. See, all life is one big mirror. And the mirror is on us, showing us our unjust, showing us our wickedness, showing our perverseness. Not a reflection of the Most High, because Yahweh is righteous. Yahweh is holy. And if we was walking in the spirit of Yah, we wouldn't be doing none of these acts. We wouldn't be approving of none of these ways. But because we have the knowledge of good and evil, then that means that now you make the choice on whether you're going to do good or evil. And if you choose evil, Yahweh not going to just punish you and you not know what's going on. No, this is one big mirror being shown to us our actions. This is one big mirror showing our unjust, showing our sins, transgressions, and iniquities. So what are we pleading to? Who are we pleading to? Are we trying to return back to Yahweh? Or are we trying to return back to the same man that's oppressing you, that's beating you, that's got you in the most oppressed, that's putting you in the even gross darkness? All they doing is just lining you up to lead you to the slaughter. And these the people you want mercy from? These the people that you want justice from? These the people you seeking judgment from? Well, look at the people who you're looking after. Look at the people who you will forsake Yahweh for. Look at what Yahweh calls to happen in the book of Job, the 9th chapter. And in the book of Job, the 9th chapter, and the 24th verse, it reads, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Well, who has the power to hand over the earth to the hands of the wicked? Yahweh. That's why it says in Amos, is there any evil in the city? And Yahweh has not done it. Yes, Yahweh allowed it to happen. Why? Because we forsook the fountain of living waters. We refuse to hearken to the words of Yahweh. We refuse to delight in our Elohim. We came to Yahweh with mourning, lamenting. And how are we coming to Yahweh today? Lamenting, mourning. All you're trying to do is find out how you can stop serving the Most High with all your heart. Every day it's a different Israelite popping up with what you can't do for Yah, what you shouldn't do for Yah, what's not allowed from Yah. You can't keep the law. You can't keep the law. Well, if you can't keep the law, then how in the world you going to show the world your servitude to Yahweh? How am I going to tell you that you can't serve the one outside of Yahweh, but I just told you can't keep the law? That is the law. How can I tell you to pull them pork chops, ham hocks, and shrimp out of your mouth, but then turn around and say, well, you can't keep the law? Well, that is the law. And how could I tell you to go out there and get you a wife, or go out there and get a husband, but then tell other men, man, it's cool, you can lay with that man's wife, because we can't keep the law anyway. No. This is violence. See, you may think that pulling out a gun or pulling out a knife or hanging someone from a tree, those are the only acts of violence. No. The act of violence that's being committed today, the violence in the city today, is by the actions that's being committed by the people. The actions that's being committed by us. Because if we refuse to hearken unto Yahweh, who you going to hearken to? If you refuse to follow after Yahweh, then who you going to follow after? And if you refuse to walk after Yah, who are you walking after? Well, this is who we walking after today. Turn with me to the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. In the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and I'm going to start at the 49th verse. Deuteronomy 28, verse 49 reads, Yahweh shall bring a nation against you from afar, from the ends of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. So they don't care if you Tamir Rice, and they don't care if you George Floyd, and they don't care if you Breonna Taylor. They don't care about none of these lives that they shedding. Yeah, it may stir up the emotions of some of the people, because it may just be a popular thing to do. You can hop on this cause so you can get the camera on the real cause that you're really trying to support. But I'm going to show you why it's fake love. I'm going to show you why it's falsehoods. But we're going to go over this later, why it's false. Because this is what it says. Yahweh said that he's going to bring a nation that has a fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of the old, nor show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave you either grain, wine, or oil, or the increase of your kind, or flocks of your sheep, until he have destroyed you. And he shall besiege you in all your gates, until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trusteth throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege you in all your gates throughout all your land, which Yahweh your Elohim have given unto you. So Yahweh said, you got safety in these walls, in these gates, in these towers. Well, I'm going to let them all down. And people asking that question now. Man, how did these people that were stricken with sickness come over to the land and kidnap an entire nation? This is how it happened. This is how it took place. But this didn't happen because Yahweh just felt like messing with us. Didn't happen because Yahweh just felt like seeing what would happen. Yahweh knew exactly what would take place. But this wasn't the actions of Yahweh. This was the decisions of the people. Because it says in verse 47 of the very same chapter, it says, because thou servest not Yahweh, your Elohim, with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shall you serve your enemies, which Yahweh shall send against you. And he going to send them against you, and you're going to be in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck until he have destroyed you. Yeah. This is the decision that was made by the people. Not the strength of the nations. Not because Yahweh fell asleep. But for every action, there's a reaction. And for rebelliousness, now we dwell in the violent city. Now we dwell in the midst of a people that consume us daily. Now we dwell in the midst of a nation that has no compassion upon the young or the old. Now they'll murder you, and every solution that people think is going to be the end all is not Yahweh, so therefore it all fails. First they said, well, all it take is one officer getting locked up for these violent acts. and it'll stop. Well, if they do lock them up, it's not going to stop because it hasn't stopped. Well, wait till the body cameras get on there. That's going to ease a lot of this up. When these murders are taking place at a higher rate on camera, and they still having trials, and the guilty are still walking away. But let's see if that same mercy, let's see if that same judgment will fall upon you if you did it. No, it wouldn't. That's why there's so much violence in the streets, because there's no balance. And without the law of Yahweh, there is no balance. How are you going to even things out? You think man going to write a law that's going to even things out? You think man going to march a march that's going to balance everything out? You think your enemy going to wake up one day and say, man, we've been unjust unto you? Man, how they going to say they've been unjust to you and Yahweh haven't even gave them the law? No, it's going to start with you. Because this is how the nations feel about you. And I don't care how many suits they throw on your body, how many raises they give you in a year, how many cars they let you drive, or how many are they women they let you lay with. This is how they look at you. In the book of Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. And in the book of Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, I'm going to read the 5th to the 7th verse. No, I'm going to read the 6th to 7th verse. Jeremiah 50 and 6 read, my people have been lost sheep, and their shepherds, man, they cause them to go astray. Because you know what your shepherd's telling you? Man, you just need to vote. Man, we get Trump about the office, man, utopia is right around the corner. Man, we put this person in office, man, and we set. And they get in there, and your purposes are disappointed. And it says that they cause you to go astray. Because now everybody was like, your plan didn't work, so now let me look at my own plan. But let's keep reading. It says they have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. And it says, all that found them have devoured them. And their adversary said, man, we offend not, because they sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. So why would you think that Babylon going to show you any mercy? Why you think Babylon going to show you any justice? Why you think Babylon gonna show you any equality? When all they've shown you is like, man, we don't got no sympathy or empathy for you. You turn your back from mercy. You turned your back from justice. You turned your back from judgment. You turned your back from Elohim. So what do you expect from me? And this is the state that we're in. This is the state that we're living in. And you mean to tell me that people don't want to come out of this and don't want to live under the rule of Yahweh? Well, then what you want to live under? Because there is no Hebrew Israelite with a Babylon twist. There is no Hebrew Egyptian. Whatever your people are trying to indoctrinate and incorporate in this. No, Yahweh's plan, Yahweh's way is completely different than any other way that's on the face of this earth. That's why no matter what plan get passed, no matter what bill get proposed, it don't benefit our people. We always are the downtrodden. Here it is you have here in the state of Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio. It's effective today with a stand your ground law. It starts today. And essentially, stand your ground law is what got George Zimmerman off for murdering Trayvon Martin. He said, well, look, I know I followed them. I know I approached them. I know I'm the one that accosted him, but I felt threatened. That's why I did all this. And that's what got him to walk. And people are up in arms. And they delighted that This law is here in Ohio now. But guess who's not celebrating? Guess who's not joyous? The people that know that they're going to fall at the end of this sword. Our people. And that's why the scripture that Moreh Shia brought out yesterday in Proverbs say, look, man, when the righteous rule, man, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, man, the people mourn. Every law, every bill, every statute that they pass, you start mourning. Because you know that you're not going to come out on the end of this at all. Not on top. Because they not seeking this from Yahweh. They seeking this from the imagination of their own heart. And this is why they're doing it. This is how special you really are. You just have to wake up and see it. Turn with me to the book of Psalms 147. In the book of Psalms, the 147th division, and the 19th verse, it reads, He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any other nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise Yahweh. So why would you expect true justice from them, judgment from them, when they know that Yahweh hasn't even dealt with them in that manner? No, he done showed you his word. He done showed you his statutes. He done showed you his judgments. So who Yahweh is looking for to judge the earth is the same ones that's turning their back from the Most High. The same one that's refusing to serve the Most High. The same one that's trying to serve their adversary. And it's because of this very reason why there's so much violence in the city. So much violence in the street. Because our people don't want to return to their righteousness. Our people don't want to return to be judges. Our people don't want to turn to be a kingdom of priests. They want to be themselves, but yet they want to do what the heathens do. They want to be themselves, but they want the rewards that the heathens got. Yahweh designed us completely different. Yahweh made us totally different. And when we not walking in the ways of Yah, then these are the ways that we walking in. That's recorded in the book of Genesis, the 4th chapter. These are the ways that we walking in. These are the way that we seeking after. And it's exactly how Yahweh said it would be. In the book of Genesis, the 4th chapter, I'm going to begin to read at the 5th verse. Genesis 4, verse 5, it reads. Excuse me. Actually, I'm going to start at verse 3. It reads, And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yahweh. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And Yahweh had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yahweh said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is your countenance fallen? If you do well, shall you not be accepted? But if you do not well, sin lies at the door, and unto you shall be his desires, and you shall rule over him. And this is the same proposal that's being purposed to us today. Yahweh saying, look, all these curses, all this darkness, all this oppression that you up under, all you got to do is do well. And I'll accept you. I'll take you. Matter of fact, your sins, transgressions, and iniquities have already been redeemed. Yahweh say, I have redeemed you. You could come to my waters and drink plenteous without money. I've already redeemed you. This is what Yahweh's telling us today. But what we want to do is we want to chase after sin, transgressions, and iniquity. And Yahweh saying, look, you want to bring these dainties to me, that's a product of transgression. I don't want that. You want to bring me these sacrifices that was formed in iniquity. I don't want that. You want to bring me all this gold and silver that was gotten by bloodshed. I don't want that. I want you to do good. And if you do good, you'll be accepted. But just know, if you continue to do not good, man, sin going to be at your doorstep. And your desires are going to be unto him, and that sin going to rule over you. You're going to rule over this sin. So all you're going to do is come up with devices on how to rule over sin. And that's all our people are trying to do. They just trying to rule over sin, but still get some mercy. Trying to rule over sin, but still get some justice. Trying to rule over sin, but still trying to get some judgment. Trying to rule over sin, but still want to go home. No. It say the fear of Yahweh is to hate evil, pride, arrogancy, and the evil way. This is what Yahweh has said. So instead of trying to find ways to rule over sin, how about we just forsake sin? How about we forsake the iniquities and the transgressions? How about we do exactly what Yahweh has commanded and instructed us to do? And this is what Yahweh has instructed his servants to do in the book of Jeremiah, the 29th chapter. In the book of Jeremiah, the 29th chapter, I'm going to begin to read at the 4th verse. Jeremiah 29:4, it reads, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Now this is Yahweh taking us from our home and bringing us into the state and land of confusion. And you know what's there. Violence in the city. You know what's there. A bunch of corruption. You know what's there. A bunch of unrighteousness. You know what's there. A bunch of injustice. You know what's there. A bunch of cruelty. But look what the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov instructed, commanded us to do. In verse 5, it says, Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them. Yahweh didn't say, man, put on the ski mask and become a bunch of thieves. You in the land of thieves. Steal your food. No, Yahweh said, look, build your houses. Plant your vineyards and eat from it. And look further what Yahweh commands us to do. It says, take ye wives and beget sons and daughters. And take wives for your sons and give your daughters to husbands. Yahweh say, I still want you nation building. You take you a wife. You beget sons and daughters. Now your brother and sister that's around you, they got sons and daughters. Will you give your daughter to his son, or you give your son to your daughter? And y'all keep on building, because what you building is a house of righteousness. But Yahweh not done with what he instructed us to do. Yahweh said, take wives, beget sons and daughters, and take wives for your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that you may be increased there and not diminish. Now, why in the 5th year will we not hone in and focus on doing this? Because Yahweh said in doing this, we will be increased. And once you increased, you got your houses, you got your vineyards. Now, does that mean you built a house? Does that mean you had to build it brick by brick? Stone by stone, mortar by mortar? No. You can build your house by fortifying it with the laws of Yahweh, by teaching your children to walk in the ways of Yahweh, by being an example, by walking in the ways of Yahweh. And you got a wife that's walking in the ways of Yahweh. Your neighbor walking in the ways of Yahweh. So guess what? Now your children are fortified with this. Now they don't feel like an oddball. Now they feel like, man, this is normal. What y'all talking about Halloween and Christmas and Easter? Man, we don't celebrate those. Those are abominations. No, I'm not serving Christ. No, I'm not serving the deity of Islam. I'm serving Yahweh. Because that's what my Abba showed me. That's what my Amos showed me. That's what my grandparents showed me. That's what I'm used to seeing. That's all I know, because that's all I need. Now, once you fortify with this, once you walking in the ways of this, Yahweh said, now you can appreciate your community. Now you won't just look at yourself as just another Negro. Now you're not going to pull out that gun and shoot your brother or sister down because they stepped on your shoes, because they looked at you wrong, because they scratched the side of your car, or they spit on the sidewalk that you was walking on, and all this vanity that our people are being killed over and killing each other over. Now you can start to have a sense of, now you can start respecting yourself. Now you can start respecting one another. And now you don't want to see graffiti on the side of your houses. Now you don't want to see a bunch of hoodlums hanging on the corner, drinking wine and drinking beer and selling weed and crack all day. You don't want to see that. Now, because you know Yahweh done showed you something that's much better, that's completely different than what you've been used to seeing. And now you see this. And now you see the goodness that Yahweh has brought forth. And now you really can do this in verse 7. It says, and seek the peace of the city, whether I have caused you to be carried away captives, and you pray unto Yahweh for it. For in the peace thereof you shall have peace. And that's what you're looking for. See, now we praying for peace because we tired of seeing the videos of our people dying by the hands of the police. We tired of seeing the videos of our people dying by the hands of one another. We tired of our people being constantly casted to the net of destruction because we done learned the ways of these heathens. We done learned the ways of our enemies. Now we see why there's so much violence in the street. Now we see why there's so much violence in the nation. Now we see why there's so much violence in the city. Because we haven't been following the laws of Yahweh. So therefore, we haven't even learned how to honor each other's life. You got to die just like I got to die, so I might as well take you out first. And those same curses that your enemy won't have no regard of the young or old, now that's done leaked into you, and now you have those attributes. This is why there's so much violence that's in the city. Because we refuse to hearken after the ways of Yahweh. And it's because of this, Yahweh has this against us in the book of Hosea, the 4th chapter. In the book of Hosea, the 4th chapter, I'm going to start reading at the very first verse. Hosea 4:1 reads, hear the words of Yahweh, ye children of Israel, for Yahweh have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. And why does Yahweh have a controversy? Well, he going to let us know. Because there is no truth, nor is there mercy, nor is there knowledge of Elohim in the land. There's no knowledge of the Most High. People, there's violence that's happening in the streets today. And you say, man, why there's so much violence in the street? Well, you know, that wouldn't happen if we get the Democrats in office. That wouldn't happen if we had our own stores. That wouldn't happen if we had our own economy. Well, these things done came and went, and there's still violence in the street. But nobody said these things are happening because we turned our backs from the Most High. And we got to return back to the Most High. How do we return back to the Most High? Well, we got to humble ourselves. We got to pray. And we got to seek the face of Yah. And then Yahweh going to bless us. And then he going to heal the land. And he going to return us to it. No, they ain't not knowing that. Everybody, man, we going back to Africa. Go back to Africa and do what? What rulership are you falling up under? See, we got all the plans in the world, but no solutions. And if you want to come up with a blueprint and you want to be a deliverer, well, do it in the vein that Yahweh has set before you. Because no one is given the knowledge of Elohim. And when the knowledge of Elohim is being brought forth, you looked at as being 14 karat crazy. That goes to show you how much there's a lack of knowledge of Elohim. I shouldn't have to walk up to you and tell you that serving Christ is wrong. Because if there was the knowledge of Elohim, you'd be like, yeah, I know. These idols was given to us by our enemies. Who we need to be serving is Yahweh. But no, you're here. Yeah, I know serving Christ is wrong. Because when we originally came off of these ships, we was Muslims. We were Egyptians. We was Moors. You everything except who Yahweh said you are. And that's servants of Yah. And this is why we are in the peril that we are in today. And this is also what we're doing. In verse 2, it says by swearing and by lying and by killing and by stealing and committing adultery. And they break out and blood touches blood. Well, you know why? Is violence in the city? Because of this. Because we're not doing the law. And Yahweh said in Isaiah the 42nd chapter in the 8th verse that he was going to magnify the law and make it honorable. Because you see how dishonorable you're going to be without it. You see how disloyal you are without it. We see exactly how unjust we are without it. And Yahweh magnifying the law so much now that now he said, look, I'm going to inspire my servants. I'm going to show them something. I'm going to show them how you're going to remember the law of Moses. Because Yahweh said, remember the law. So it's not only do we have to do the law, we got to remember the law. Now, how you going to remember the law if you're not doing it? That's a complete and utter contradiction. But if you're not keeping the law, that's exactly what you'll be. You'll be a contradiction. You'll be a liar. You'll be swearing falsely. You'll be killing, stealing, committing adultery, and just all this blood to start touching blood. Next thing you know, the whole house is full of violence. Now, if you really want to see the core of how good the law is, if you really want to see the core of how Yahweh has magnified his law and made it honorable, well, all you have to do is go to the testimonies of Yah. That's why the scripture says to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And this is the magnification of the law in the testimony of Yahweh. Turn with me to the book of Psalms, the 19th division. And in the book of Psalms, the 19th division, I'm going to start reading at the 7th verse. In Psalms 19, verse 7, it reads, the law of Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimonies of Yahweh is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of Yahweh are right, rejoicing the heart. And the commandments of Yahweh is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of Yahweh is clean, it endures forever. And the judgments of Yahweh are true and righteous altogether. And with all this beauty, Yahweh said this and had this as a testimony in his book in verse 10. Man, it's more to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than thou and the honeycomb, the honey and the honeycomb. So you don't need no gold, no silver, no honey, nor no honeycomb when you got this law. That's how beautiful it is. Because you can have all the gold in the world, but that don't mean your soul, that's not going to make your soul converted. But the law would do that. You can have all the dainties in the world, but that's not going to make you sure, but the testimonies will. You can have all these trinkets, and your eyes will never be enlightening, but the commandments of Yahweh will enlighten your eyes. And you can have every outfit that come out, every pair of shoes, and be just as filthy as a pig rolling around in slop. But if you fear Yah, you clean. And people pass away, but you'll endure forever. And you can have the best job in the world. You could be the biggest politician. You could be the biggest electrician. You could be the biggest everything, making 18 figures a year, and still not have the sense enough to know that the judgments of Yahweh are true, and still not be a truthful man, still not be a truthful woman. See, these things are more to be desired because the only way that we can get these and obtain these things is by Yahweh. You want to get this violence out of your city, then return back to Yah. And not only am I saying this, but this is what Yahweh is saying. Yes, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is saying these same things. Turn with me to the book of Isaiah, the 59th chapter. In the book of Isaiah, the 59th chapter, I'm going to start reading at the very first verse. Isaiah 59:1, it reads, Behold, Yahweh's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save. Neither is his ear heavy, that it cannot hear. Yahweh said, my hand's not shortened. I hear you. My hands can save you in any moment. All you got to do is get yourself right, and I'm right there. But the reason why to you it look like my hands are shortened, the reason why to you it look like my ears are heavy, in verse 2, it says, but your iniquities have separated between you and your Elohim, and your sins have hid his face from you, and this will be that he will not hear. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity, and your lips have spoken lies. Your tongue have muttered perverseness, and none calleth for justice. You can sit there and say, well, I think they should make this officer guilty. You're not calling for justice. What you try to see is if this judicial system can straighten itself up. When Yahweh had already said the hands is given into the power was given into the hands of the wicked. So what you expecting the wicked to do righteous? No. Everything they do has an agenda hidden in it. That's why Yahweh said, man, none calling for justice, none pleading for truth. And it says, they that trust in vanity and speak lies, they conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. Why? Because no one's magnifying the law. And when the law is magnified, the people try to make it say, man, get that book out of here. Get that out of here. When if you want justice, if you want judgment, if you want peace, this is the only way we're going to get it. And it's recorded from the books of Genesis all the way through Malachi. the law and the testimony. Now, all this other stuff our people involving themselves in, entrenching themselves in, it don't mean a hill of beans, because it's not bringing you any salvation. Turn with me to the book of Isaiah, the 57th chapter. In Isaiah, the 57th chapter, and verse 1, it reads, "The righteous perishes, and no man lays it to heart. And merciful men are taken away, but none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come." Yes, that's why Yahweh made the wicked for the day of evil. And it says, "He shall enter into peace, and they shall rest in their beds, each one of them walking in his uprightness. But draw near hither, ye sons of..." This is what Yahweh is saying. Yahweh is saying, this is why the righteous perish. All these, we've been entering into the house of mourning a lot. And it's a lot to take on. It's a lot coming at us at once. But are you considering why you in the house of mourning? Man, is Yahweh just tucking away the righteous because he don't want his servants to see this day of evil? And I don't know how Yahweh gonna hide the righteous. Yahweh could take your Ruach. Yahweh could take us somewhere and just hide us. I don't know how Yahweh gonna do it. But all I know is when I start seeing certain people leave this earth or disappear, you should start considering. Because you know it's about to be violence in the city. You should consider this. And if you're looking for mercy from this nation, justice from this nation, then you just don't realize or believe the word that Yahweh is giving to you. See, that's what I love about what Moray Elisha used to teach. Moray Elisha used to teach that that's how you know something is the truth, because it's in harmony with universal law. So things in nature is in harmony with Yahweh's word because, well, Yahweh created the earth and everything in it. So you will see a lot of comparisons of us being compared to some beast, or nations ruling being compared to beasts, or us being compared to birds, like it says this in Jeremiah the 12th chapter. And this is why you shouldn't expect no mercy, because you just got to know from who you are in the midst of, who you are in the midst in. In the book of Jeremiah, the 12th chapter and the 9th verse, it reads, "Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird, and the birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, and come to devour." So you see Yahweh make these comparisons, because Yahweh saying, man, you like a speckled bird, and the speckled bird gonna stick out. So your enemies gonna see you, just like your enemies see you today. See, no matter how many other nations get killed by the police, it's not going to garner the same attention as when you get killed by the police. Now, you think that they're trying to show you favor. No, they're trying to draw you out, because all the birds around us are against us. And the only way that we're going to be protected is if we're hidden in the arms of Yahweh. That's why it says this in the book of Proverbs, the 12th chapter. Proverbs, the 12th chapter and the 10th verse. It says, "A righteous man, he regards the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel." So them giving you $27 million because they murdered your father, that's their tender mercies. Them paying you millions of dollars because they severed your spine while you were in their custody, broke their neck, that's their tender mercies. But you looking for justice? You looking for judgment from these people when they tender mercies are cruel? No. Why do you think there's so much violence in the city? Because the only way that these nations are going to show any type of compassion, any type of mercy, is when they're brought completely down. And they going to have to humble themselves before Yah. And this is when they going to do it. In the book of Jeremiah, the 16th chapter. In Jeremiah, the 16th chapter, and the 19th verse, it reads, O Yahweh, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto you from far, from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. And shall a man make idols unto himself, and they are no Elohims. And that's all the nation's going to have to confess. All these Elohims that we thought were Elohims, and put our trust in, put our stock in, and taught you to put your trust and stock in. Man, they was all idols. They were all devils. Because we inherited lies. And we were teaching you lies. That's when you're going to start to see the changing of the guard. But that's not going to happen because of them. That's going to happen because of the works of Yahweh. That's why it's imperative that we don't depart from this law. That's why it's imperative that we don't depart from Yahweh's word. Because Yahweh let this be known in the book of Proverbs, the 3rd chapter. And in the book of Proverbs, the 3rd chapter, it reads, my son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep thy commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to you. Let not mercy and truth forsake you. Bind them about your neck and write them upon the tables of your heart. So shall you find favor and good understanding in the sight of Elohim and man. What made Yosef different? He kept the law of Yahweh. What made Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah different? They kept the law of Yahweh. What made Daniel different? They kept the law of Yahweh. And what makes us different? When we keep the laws of Yahweh. Because that's the only way we're going to be just. That's the only way that we can cleanse off this blood from off our hands. That's the only way you're going to start to seek the peace even in this violent city. Because without the law, all you doing are trying to instigate the violence. But you could be a part of this nation. You could be a part of this regime. You could be a part of this government, and you could chant and root and cheer and think you're going to come up against Yahweh. But you have to know this. This is the end to all those that do so. And this is the last scripture in the book of Psalms, the 55th division. In Psalms, the 55th division, I'm going to read the 22nd and the 23rd verses. And it reads, cast thy burdens upon Yahweh, and he shall sustain you, and he shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. But thou, O Elohim, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction, and bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in you. So if we want this violence to cease and we want to enter into a covenant of peace, then we got to return to Yah, return to his laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments, so that we can be a testimony that we found peace in such a violent city. So until tomorrow, Yahweh loves you, and so do we at the house of Israel. Shalom.
Yah lead us out of Babylon. Please take us from this Babylon. We're leaving out of Babylon. Finally leaving Babylon.
By the rivers of Babylon, we sat and wept. They made us sing songs of Zion. If I forget Jerusalem, remove my tongue until I lose my breath. Happy is he that dash they little ones into the steps. Daughter of Babylon, America, the great whore, naked what you ashamed for. Come down and sit in the dust, the only place for who wage war. Raided our lands, when y'all repay his vengeance, he won't meet you as a man. His plague in Egypt began, leaving this place severed. Delivered us by temptations, signs, wonders, wars, a mighty hand stretched out arm and great terrors. The daughter of the Chaldeans no longer will be called the lady of kingdoms. They quarantined us, time to judge them. Jacob's lives departed, return to Yah for the light when the skies is darkened. Only the wise regarded, so when these times are charted, leave Babylon departed and circumcise your heart.
Yah lead us out of Babylon. Please take us from this Babylon. We're leaving out of Babylon. Finally leaving Babylon.
Say Yah, who shall abide up in your tabernacle? Who shall prevail right in your holy hill? The exodus of your servant is now being unveiled. The dust from all of us going is like the chemtrails. Left behind, these nations getting sifted like graffles. Aziz flying in the air like graduation tassels. The faces of our elites is left looking confused. They say they always with you, we inherited lies too. The bondage broken, chains shattered, no longer murdered. The same one who afflicted will leave my baby nurses. Raise hearses for the death of my people, curse it. The blessing of you so fleet, almost fainted these verses. We were brought to captivity, now the loser's winning. Your magnificent work is why these scribes are penning. The ruler is Bueller, judgment is how it's measured in it. The saints is marching on home, no incentive for sinning. Yeah.
Yah lead us out of Babylon. Please take us from this Babylon. We're leaving out of Babylon. Finally leaving Babylon.
Come on, yeah.
Yah lead us out, no longer can we stay. Yeah, it's been too long since we done been away. Yeah, we've been turned upside down, don't know our night from our day. Yeah, and all we do is listen to what our oppressors say. Yeah, so long I hope it has gone astray. Yeah, we lay down to every suitor in every way. Just to leave our hearts in complete disarray. Yeah, but Yahweh will save us according to what his words say. Yah lead us out of Babylon.